All right, we're live, and welcome to the season finale of Better Call Saul, episode 10, The Lantern, and what an episode it was.
Also the season finale of the Saul GoodCast.
Exactly, the season finale of the Saul GoodCast, and we will return for season 4. Hopefully they will renew it by next year. I haven't heard anything about a renewal
I'm sure they
yet.
will.
Yeah, because I saw the Talking Saul after Better Call Saul, and they was talking about season 4. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a season 4.
Yeah, I believe so.
But man, this episode, Ellen was right, half right. So
Yeah. She was.
Spoiler alert: there was a house fire, but
Yeah.
Chuck was the one that did it. He
Yeah.
basically committed suicide by house fire.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first main character death that we have to deal with in Better Call Saul.
But we really don't know if he's dead or not, though.
Michael McKean actually confirmed it in an interview, saying that he died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I think.
So he was able to go on ahead and let that little secret that cat out of the bag.
I think he did the interview after the episode aired.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So he confirmed it. But I don't think this is the last we're going to see of Michael McKean, because they do flashbacks, and I think we're probably going to see a couple of flashbacks.
Yeah, I think we will see him in flashbacks. But,
yeah.
But it was a great way to send him off. I mean, he essentially tells Jimmy, you never mattered that much to me. And I mean, that was a real downer. I mean, we'll talk more about that as we go along about when he said that to Jimmy, when Chuck said that to Jimmy.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, it crushed Jimmy. I mean, he didn't say a word after that. If you notice, he did not say a word.
All right, so let's do the teaser, and the teaser was a quick one.
There she is. Hey, Ellen.
Are you live? We're live.
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
We are live.
Yep. And you was half right. There was a house fire, and Chuck.
Well, it wasn't me.
Somebody,
remember I tagged you guys in it, I think?
Oh, yeah, that's right. So someone was right.
Somebody else came up with it.
It was somebody on one of the Better Call Saul groups.
I liked that idea. I mean, not that I wanted it to happen to him, but it was just that it made sense. And some of the things we've been seeing look like foreshadowing.
Yeah. Yeah, and right before.
I did not expect him to do it on purpose.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah. I thought it was going to be an accidental house fire, not suicide by house fire.
And Shane said he read in Shane said he read in an interview that Michael McKean was an interview with Michael McKean. He did confirm that yes, that was Chuck's death. So.
Oh, he did, because they're being coy about it, but it would be sloppy television. I mean, they pan back, you see the way it just spreads so fast.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way he's done.
Yeah, I don't see him. I see Michael McKean returning for flashbacks, but his character is dead.
I don't even know if they can do things like tests to see the drugs that he was on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that this was just going to look like. I mean, it was going to look like a suicide, but that maybe because of the fire, people wouldn't notice that the house had been trashed. Maybe.
Yeah.
But there's stuff all over the place outside already.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going to know the guy went mental. He totally. That was wow. I mean, to expect it and still have it be shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The opener with the two when they're kids and the lantern.
Yes. I mean, I tweeted. I said we need to see a flashback with young Chuck and young Jimmy.
Yes.
That was
Chuck and Jimmy.
Too.
That was great. And he was reading the book. Mabel.
The Adventures of Mabel. The Adventures of Mabel.
And
yes.
He had the baseball bat with him.
Yeah, the baseball bat and the lantern. And I think there was the Band-Aid cartridge container that Jimmy had.
Oh,
from
wow.
the in there. But yeah, and it was a small teaser too. It was one of the shorter teasers of the season. And notice,
it was powerful. And so we know, okay, this is not there for no reason. Now my roommate, who is usually like human spoiler, he predicts things when they're unpredictable. He started going off on a tangent while we were watching, and he's like, I'll bet that they're gonna go back to these guys as kids, and Jimmy's gonna like have caused a fire and maybe like killed somebody. And I'm like, and I almost started to go with him because he's always right, but I'm like, nah, I'm sticking to the fire theory. I'm sticking to that right now. And but when he was tearing his house apart, he wasn't suicidal at that moment.
No.
He was trying to fix things by finding out, and I never read an explanation for why his meter kept going.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either. I noticed it kept going, but I don't know why either.
Only explanation I could think is that maybe there's a minimum charge, so your meter will run at a minimal amount, even if you shut off your breakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he shut everything down. He shut his breakers down and everything. So.
And then when we're thinking, smoke detectors, but
unless there was like a switch outside somewhere that he didn't look.
But he shut the breakers off. It should have taken care of
some houses.
Maybe Jesse siphoned electricity. No.
but some houses also have the breaker outside. They have the switches outside also. Some houses have that. Ours does.
Now, when he was beating up the electrical box, I thought he was going to get a shock. I thought he was going to die by electrocution.
Yeah,
that would have been interesting. That would have been ironic. Have him die by electricity.
And now we don't get to see it, but when he starts that process of, even when I'm watching him poke the first hole in the wall, I'm already thinking about, wow, how's he going to redo that room? Can he match the wallpaper? Like it matters, right? And then he keeps going and he keeps going, and we don't get to see the aftermath except when we cut to him kicking the desk. But he must have looked around at what he'd done and realized that represented where his mind was at that moment. And I mean, Chuck is proud, and there was no way he was going to call for help and have somebody see him and this just burn it down.
Yeah, yeah, and we didn't get to see all of Chuck's downfall, so maybe
they spent a lot of time on him though.
Yeah, they have.
That was the other clue. I'm like, look, they're giving him like Tyrese time here.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the last episode, they've been focusing on him.
Yeah, one thing we did not see in this episode
was like 7 minutes long.
See in this episode, Mike.
Mike wasn't in the
every episode this season except this one.
And last episode too.
I'm not sure where his place would be though. I don't think he had a place in it.
You don't think he would have been at the Nacho's dad's shop as backup?
Not yet. I think whatever business arrangement. I mean, right now, all they've agreed to is that Gus helped Mike launder money through, by hooking him up with Lydia and Madrigal. That's it.
Yeah.
They haven't really arranged anything. And even if they do, even if he's employing Mike, I think it's baby steps. Gus is careful. Mike's careful too, but yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And as they were saying, this is like the season of Gus trying to keep people from killing Hector. And Mike's one of those people, and Mike doesn't need to see Hector right now. Mike
Not yet.
doesn't need to see Hector. And now you've got that that look he gives Nacho. Like, really, you two? Gus he doesn't want anybody to kill. What they said was, Gus doesn't want anybody to kill Hector because they won't do it right. He's got big plans.
Yeah.
Which is why he gives CPR.
So going into the episode, we see Hector finally succumb to the heart attack, and Gus is the one that saves him because he's not ready. He's not ready to kill Hector yet. Yep. Just like you said, Alan, he's got bigger plans, and a heart attack is basically too humane for Hector to die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Put it in Gus' words, too humane. But yeah, so and he was
I just noticed you're wearing the wife beater.
Yep.
Shane, yeah, I just noticed you're wearing the wife beater.
Yep.
Ding ding ding. The actor, what's his name? Who plays Hector?
Oh gosh.
Mark Margolis.
Yep.
Yes.
Mark Margolis.
He's like, next time the only thing I'll be doing is ringing a bell. I'm gonna be able to move that one finger.
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, this might not cause the big stroke that we hope to see.
It might not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. Shane pointed this out. I don't know how I missed it, but Shane pointed out there was a bell in front of Hector at one point.
They said that in the podcast.
Yeah, when Hector went to meet with Nacho and was talking to his dad, there was a bell right there in front on the desk.
I didn't notice it at the time, but they mentioned it in the podcast. And what Vince says, because Vince doesn't even know about half this stuff till he hears about it. And he's like, and people, other people like, yeah, we do all these details, but people don't notice. And Vince is like, no. Our fans notice. They really, really examine these things.
The ones that haven't watched Breaking Bad yet doesn't notice.
Yeah.
They don't notice the Breaking Bad references necessarily.
Yeah.
Oh, that of course with the bell, but I think I don't know. I mean, it's hard to exist if you're watching Better Call Saul in the first place. You gotta know ding 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 ding. I mean, how many I don't know. My roommate was saying that the ending of this episode was what everybody expected. And I was like, well, maybe those of us who obsess about it and read about it and talk about it and look at all the extras and all of that stuff. Those of us who do that might have. But if you just watch your show, turn it off till next week, you know what I mean? Just watch it in your little bubble. Maybe you wouldn't have guessed. And I don't think people did guess. Most viewers.
Yeah.
That's how it was going to go down.
I was still surprised by it. Because I would never thought that Chuck would actually commit suicide. And I like what they did after the episode. They flashed the suicide prevention hotline on screen.
Wow.
Wow.
But speaking of Chuck, one thing we see in this episode, we see him at HHM, Hammond McGill. Essentially, I mean, he's trying to
sue the firm.
He's trying to sue the firm.
Well, it's not what he really wants, though.
Right. They decide to settle.
Hammond settled out of his own money.
$3 million. Out of his own funds. Yeah.
$3 million, first of 3 payments.
Chuck just wants them to shake hands and go on with business. That's what he really wants. And he thinks he's got them in a corner. That either you have to fight this expensive lawsuit or you have to pay me what you can't. So, and then Howard, brings him out and says, "Hey, everybody, wants everybody to applaud Chuck, and
that reminds me of when season 1, when Chuck came back and they had everybody come together and applaud for him. You don't remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, when he first came back to the firm. But yeah, so
Uh-huh.
Chuck really wanted to just stay at Hamlin McGill and still practice law, but Hamlin had to do damage control because of the whole bar hearing, and he had to get
Yeah.
McGill out. He had to get Chuck out,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
he did that by paying him off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was right about what he,
Mm-hmm.
what he said about Chuck's not looking at the best interest of the firm. He's blinded by this vendetta against Jimmy. It's all Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, when he tells Jimmy he never meant that much to him, that's a big fat lie.
Mm-hmm.
Although
Mm-hmm.
it's not, that doesn't necessarily mean he wanted good things for Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
but he matters.
Yeah.
That's what all this has been
I mean,
about.
that was just a major bombshell.
Yeah, the
Jimmy.
big lie, and that was the last conversation between Chuck and Jimmy. And when season 4 rolls around,
Vince called it that.
yeah.
Yeah. Vince was like, oh, well, you never know. Maybe he curled out or something, you know.
No, I don't think so.
Showrunner, and he doesn't want to. But he did refer to it as the last conversation. Then quickly corrected himself. Oh, well, we don't know.
Well,
and
Peter Gould and Vince Gilligan.
play devil's advocate, Vince Gilligan wrote on the X-Files, and Michael McKean was in a couple of episodes of the X-Files, so maybe Vince Gilligan can do a couple of X-Files scene and have Chuck live.
You know, I didn't realize that he was Lenny. Like, how did I not know that?
Mm-hmm.
I watched freaking Laverne and Shirley, like, as it aired.
Yeah, he was Lenny. That's right.
Yep.
And there was a lot of talk about that because Michael McKean, being a great comedic actor, is playing somebody who is absolutely humorless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't have a sense of humor. And,
Yeah.
you know, they don't really make him particularly funny. He's just who he is. And it's just interesting because...
and so another thing you might notice, this is the second season finale to involve Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Last season finale involved Chuck also when he recorded Jimmy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all to let us know that Chuck has a huge influence over Jimmy. And that last conversation that he had with him about why have regrets. Just,
yeah, he's basically telling Jimmy,
go out there, get what you want.
Yeah. He's telling Jimmy, you know, don't apologize for what you are and who you are. Go out, you know, do what you got to do.
Screw people over.
You could because you'll just do it again. He just said you'll just do it again.
You keep hurting people, Jimmy. It's what you do.
You keep hurting people. That's right.
Yeah. So basically, that I think what Jimmy is going to do with that last conversation with Chuck is to turn into Saul. I think that has to be the turning point right there.
I don't think there
probably is
a turning point, really. I think it's going to propel him further. I mean, he just gave up his niche in elder law. He just gave that up just for one woman. I mean, that was really a sweet thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was I when he did that, I was like, and then he talked to Aaron. I was like, and then I said to Shane, "Was that a setup?" And he said, "Yes,
it was a setup." Yeah. So going back to last week when Jimmy was an asshole and turned everyone against Irene, he goes back to Irene, and basically everyone is still against Irene. So he has to do major damage control and to basically try and make everybody friends with Irene again. And he does that.
Well, he doesn't have to. He just walk away.
Yeah, he could have. He could have if he wanted to. But he goes and...
The settlement, too.
Yeah.
Coming now. He has to wait. That was really, really selfless. That is a guy with a conscience.
Yeah, I mean, he's not 100% Saul yet, because if he was 100% Saul, he would have just said, "Screw Irene, I don't care about Irene."
Right. She's gonna die any minute anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was part of the setup when he said that. He said, "All these people are going to die any minute anyway." You know?
Yeah, when he did that, Aaron came back. Remember Aaron, his personal assistant?
At Davidson, Maine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, so the big story arc with Kim last week continued on, and she's got a broken arm, and she's basically she's given up on everything. She's just now doing Relaxathon 2003 and watching old movies from Blockbuster.
Established timeline. We're 5 years away.
Yep.
Now,
Ellen
they can fast forward.
Ellen had said it was 2003, and she was right.
Right around the corner there. She could be coming out looking at the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right there. You can see the house when Saul parks to go see Chuck.
Yeah. Cool. Speaking of Aaron Paul, there's a vitamin water commercial he's on.
Oh, he's in vitamin water, really? Aw.
Yeah, he's on a vitamin water commercial. I saw it last night. I said, "That's Jesse."
But Chuck tearing things apart was actually a very physical. And I mean, this was a huge ordeal that they had to do, because it's a set, and the sets, as they explained, are just walls, and there's nothing behind them, and there's nothing in them. Put all that stuff in them, the insulation and the wires and everything that you need to mess with. And that Michael McKean really did this and just went into this place, you know, which he didn't consider a particularly pleasant one, but he was able to just Chuck's head and go on that crazy mission. He just lost it.
He found that one.
He might still be alive.
He found that one wire. He thought maybe that was it, but then he goes back outside. The meter's still going. He finds that one wire.
And it took hours. That it was really, really long day for him. This was intense stuff. Michael McKean had to do.
It was.
And they were all in awe of him.
Yeah. And what I thought was interesting was that his relapse happened right after he told Jimmy that big lie. Because as soon as Jimmy left, they did the night shot of him in the bed. He wakes up and he does his little mental state where he does brown book and green whatever.
Because he needs to turn on the light to see the pills. And I don't even know what they are. I don't know if they're for anxiety or pain. But if you're taking,
it might be just placebos too.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was kicking,
good point.
The death first, I was really confused, and I was like, does he just have like the worst case of restless leg syndrome ever? Because he's got his eyes closed, and it's almost like it could have been involuntary leg movements, or is he having some sort of weird seizure? And then when he opened his eyes, then you knew he knew exactly what he was doing. But that scene at first kind of really confused me. Convulsion is, was that moment when the electricity bothered him. Because even at this point, my roommate's going, no, we're going to flash back to the kids again. Jimmy will have done something. Oh.
No.
I'm like, he's like, there's no lantern. I'm like, yet. Looking at this light. He doesn't like this light. It must be the next day.
It had to be that night.
What was that?
It had been that
done
night.
Everything else.
Because it was night scene.
Okay. Well,
yeah, but then the next day he's tearing the house up. Remember, looking for the
right, and it's daytime, and you know.
No, it had been that night after he tore the house up.
No, because after he tore the house up, he's in the desk chair with kicking the desk with the lantern on it.
Uh-huh. Now that was
so
interesting.
Had a really rough night.
He's sitting there kicking the desk. I heard this thumping noise. There was this thumping. I was like, "What is that thumping noise?" It turned out it was him kicking the desk. And the
hiss of the lantern.
Yes, that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm looking at a still shot with Chuck, and I see a book in the where the camera's at, and it looks like the book The Adventures of Mabel.
Oh wow!
Right next to the lantern.
Yeah, they said the book was in there.
And then what I like is the foreshadowing. The lamp is still on the stack of newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing that was foreshadowing. Once that guy came out with that theory, I thought of that and of it.
Yeah, definitely.
The
point of it. And so, I'm thinking, okay, accidental fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we find out it's not accidental.
Mm-hmm.
Last week left us worried about Kim. And Kim's doing just peachy, although her Relaxathon 2003 is going to be ruined now. And this all gets found out. Maybe they'll jump ahead a year, but with Kim, Kim and Jimmy have this sort of, I don't know, that kind of reminds me of me and my roommate. They're not the most warm and fuzzy couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in the moment, and they're doing their things, but little room, he just says Kim, and she says I know. Like, they can communicate. They know what the other one's thinking. And
no, they're not officially a couple yet. They're a couple, not a couple. They're not officially together.
Breaking up.
How
about now?
What I thought was interesting was Jimmy. Jimmy and Kim were in that same spot where she had the wreck, and he's gathering up the papers for her.
Yeah.
My audio.
And then, at first,
I think
she was at
with her.
What?
Oh, okay.
Jump out and come back in if you need to.
All right. Either there. I just sit here and smile. Okay.
I was going to say, and at first Kim was at home, and she was trying to work with. She was trying to do her work, but then she just kind of gave up on it. She actually dropped the whole Gatwood thing. She said, forget about the Gatwood thing.
Yeah, and they referred Gatlin to Streichert and Coakley.
Mm-hmm. Another firm, yeah.
There we go. That sounds better, I think.
So I thought that was.
How about now?
I thought that was interesting. That Kim just said, forget about Gatwood. Not that important to me now.
Is she? Do you think we're going to see her give up on law?
No, I think
a good question.
Kind of trying to find some middle ground here between. The Relaxathon is temporary because she just had a car accident and she's been working her ass off. But that office, and they don't need that office. Not if it means.
Well, remember, she said she wanted to be like
car accidents, and she's really upset that she could have killed somebody.
Yeah, and just about the icing on the cake, it didn't help Francesca to talk about the accident on that road, and she says she's heard that many people died on that road. I mean, that wasn't help. That didn't help at all.
He was trying to blame it on the road, not Kim, make Kim feel better, but in a didn't really work out kind of way.
Yeah.
I think I PM'd to Shane. Yeah, way to be supportive, Francesca.
Yeah, but she tried. She's got good intentions right now.
Mm-hmm. But Francesca got fired, and she's now back at the MVD.
MVD. Yeah.
But we know we'll see her again.
Yeah, we'll see her again.
Oh yeah.
And,
but what I was going to say was,
I'm going to enjoy seeing Francesca's transition from happy-go-lucky assistant to Saul's assistant. That's going to be a fun transition.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to say was that Kim said she always wanted to be like Atticus Finch. Her favorite movie is To Kill a Mockingbird. She wanted to be like Gregory Peck as Atticus Finch. She wanted to change things. She wanted to be a catalyst for change.
Right.
And
so maybe she's in the wrong kind of law to begin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She wanted to be like Atticus Finch.
So you think we see Kim practice a different type of law?
Service of humanity, while Saul's going towards service of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to. That's one of the things they're talking about in the podcast is with Kim, because we don't see her in Breaking Bad, and Bob Odenkirk was talking about how much he likes Kim's character, because if you were to ask her what kinds of problems and challenges do you and Jimmy face, she'd be able to tell you. And it's this kind of unlikely to succeed relationship anyway. Then he said that, for all maybe she's in Santa Fe. I'm in Albuquerque doing my thing, a little distance, doesn't hurt. For Bonder. People do it. So, they could conceivably put her in Breaking Bad. Well, not Breaking Bad. I mean, put her in Better Call Saul during the overlap.
Gene's world, right? Mm-hmm. And Gene's, wherever Gene's at in Omaha.
Yeah, yeah, see, that makes it unlikely too. Then I don't know, unless he just left her.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds more like
I'm not necessarily sure, because she wouldn't know who Gene is. She wouldn't know it was Jimmy or Saul or whatever.
True.
Because she wouldn't know that he went into hiding, as it were.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was listening.
She's gonna move on.
I was listening to a podcast with Ray Seahorn, and she said that what they need to do is.
Uh-oh. Russians again. He's frozen up.
I'm not hearing stuff.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, he froze up. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So.
All
right. So.
He cloned himself.
Yeah, I cloned myself. Gene splicing. Anyway, Ray Seahorn was talking about how they need it when they do like Gene flash forward, is to pan the camera back, and you see Kim working in a Claire's next to the Cinnabon at the mall.
What?
Yeah, that's what Ray Seahorn said. Because it was talking about the Kansas City Royals, and that's on the Omaha, Nebraska border.
Mm-hmm.
And so they said that Kim might be in either in Kansas or in Omaha, because she moved.
And
that she's working at the same mall as Gene.
Kim working at a mall? I don't see that. Really? Don't see that.
And of course, we know it's this all that we see on, in Albuquerque.
Ooh, unless Saul kills her legal career in the process of whatever he does.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. There has to be some kind of fallout between Jim and Kimmy.
We are totally I don't know sign language, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I did. You could read lips.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What else happened in the season finale? I think we covered the main important parts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the podcast, it took them an hour to get to talking about the episode.
Oh, really?
It was all this other stuff first. And then they start talking about the episode, and they're so...
in the scene with Gus and Hector and Nacho, we saw Don Bosa come up, and he said, you know, he liked the way that Gus was doing business, not the way Hector was doing business, and that set Hector off.
Yeah, that's how Hector had the heart attack.
And then, you know, Nacho gets to finish this whole pill thing.
Yeah.
It worked out perfectly. Gus is too busy giving CPR. Nobody's watching him. He's able to put it all back together. The EMTs. And what he's handing to the EMTs is the real stuff now.
Yeah.
He has not escaped Gus's suspicion. That was clear. You saw the way Gus looked at him.
I told Henry in the chat that I think Gus knew what was going on, because he gave that look at Nacho and the pill bottle, and it's like he knew exactly what's going on.
He did.
And Michael Mondo says, you know, he really wishes, he thinks that Gus and Nacho have a lot in common. And that they could actually work together really well, but they just happen to be like, one's a Montague and one's a Capulet, and that's that. And
that's a good analogy. Yeah.
You know, I just thought of something. Gus doesn't want to kill Hector yet, but what if he gets Mike or somebody to incapacitate him? Because
Mike hurt Nacho?
No,
I don't think
Hector.
I don't think Mike would do that job. You're gonna have to get somebody else to do that job.
You don't think so? Because he was the one that he killed the other cousin by giving that shot.
Yeah, but Nacho, I mean, he's the one that he coached about how to get Hector. I don't think he has. I don't think Mike has any big problems with Nacho.
No, Hector. Incapacitate Hector.
No, we're talking about incapacitating Hector.
Oh,
that's what we're
sorry.
talking about.
That's why I was so confused. Yeah, well, I mean, I think, but Gus got Mike to stand down, and now he's looking at Nacho, going, "All right, here's another guy." I mean, so many people.
But see, here's the thing:
Hector.
the cartel, because of this whole business with the cartel, Gus needs to get Hector out of the picture momentarily, so that he can be the main one stepping in, because he knows that Hector is probably going to do something, and it's in Gus's best interest to get Hector incapacitated and off the whole cartel business.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have to go forward in time. I mean, I don't know how many seasons we think they're gonna get. It isn't even official yet, but nobody seems worried about it. And
well, you think about
horrible
this.
if it didn't.
It did.
Obviously, when the new season starts, we've got to see Gene again. I mean, at the very beginning, it's a tradition.
Yes, and are we going to see something in the Gene scene where it sort of ties into what we ended with? Like, will he be in front of a sporting goods store and see a lantern? Or...
That would be interesting.
You know, like taking a break, you know, walking around the mall on his lunch break.
Well, the last time we've seen Gene, he passed out. So he might be in a hospital somewhere.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, you could talk for hours. These guys It's so funny because Peter Gould's like, okay, we got to wrap this up, and they talk for another 45 minutes. And it's only like in the last 10 minutes, they're like, oh my God, we haven't talked about the whole scene with Hector and Gus and the heart attack. And they just had so much to talk about. The whole Blockbuster thing was because there is no Blockbuster anymore.
Let me guess, they had to do a stage. They had to stage it. They built like
had to get permission.
I PM'd to Shane. Those were the days going to the video store and renting. You're going to Blockbuster.
And every single movie type, like cover, every DVD cover, jacket insert, had to be approved. They all had their own list of what movies did in the first place, and they had to work all that out, and then it was like getting permission
and plus it's 2003, so they can't have any movies that's present. They have to have movies that's from 2003 and back.
Yeah.
One movie she shouldn't have been able to get yet. That was a oops, but I forget which film, but it was I think it was Chris Farley. Tying into the fact that Bob Odenkirk helped Chris Farley write his motivational speaker character.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Because you'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt Foley.
Yeah, Matt Foley. I live in the
van
down by the river. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk did that one. He wrote it.
Yep. And so there was a shout out over there for that, and yeah. But yeah.
Oh, Bob Odenkirk wrote that? Really?
He helped write he helped create the motivational speaker for Chris Farley.
Yeah, he created that back in Chicago for Second City.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And then when Bob Odenkirk was hired to write for Saturday Night Live, that's when they did the whole motivational speaker.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, see, I didn't know that. See.
Yeah, so this is the first episode.
Blown. I have watched a lot of really good TV in the last like. And I don't know what to do now. Go outside.
What were you going to say, Shane? This is the first episode.
This is the first episode that our main character has died. The very first one.
Yes.
It is?
Yeah, Chuck.
Oh, a main character. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, Marco, he was a secondary character.
Maybe they'll, if they flash forward in time, like a year. Example, so that we could see what kind of law Jimmy decides to, because he's done with elder law. He burned that bridge.
The only thing is
in a
criminal law.
24-hour period. There's three things that matter to Jimmy. Kim, who he feels like he almost lost, and this great talent he had for elder law. And he had just lost 2 out of 3 in a 24-hour period, maybe less.
Yeah, so looking forward to season 4 when it gets renewed. Hopefully it gets renewed. I don't see why they don't renew this. But
no, I think it's just, they're trying to figure out, are we going to do season to season? Are we going to say, all right, you get 3 more years? I think the crew would probably be happy to know how much time they have.
I like to see do 5 seasons. I think 5 seasons would be perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is they know how this has to end and where they're going. You kind of need to know how much time you have to get there.
Yeah. But
so they haven't.
It would be cool. It would be cool if the final season ends. The final season ends with Mike and Jimmy's in Saul's office, and Saul gets Jesse about Jane. And then sends Mike over there, and then that's they have to do when Walt walks into the office. Oh yeah, there you go. That's
the
it.
very first one. Because season 2, episode 8 was Better Call Saul. So
yeah, but they have some business to attend to before they even go there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we see Walt? If season 4 is renewed, do you think we see Walt, or is it too soon for Walt?
It may be too soon, unless they say, all right, you guys have 2 more seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Jesse and Jane, have y'all seen the newest Los Pollos Hermanos? It's the last training video.
I did that. The last video.
Jane,
yeah.
Jesse and Jane.
They have cartoon versions of Jesse and Jane.
Yep. Heimlich maneuver, bitch.
Yeah.
It went right by me until I saw that, and I went, "Wait a minute!" And I went back. And
Michael Mandow shared a video with Kim and Nacho in a Blockbuster renting movies.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's on his Facebook. Go into if you in the group Better Call Saul.
Well, that's a fake Blockbuster then. It's the fake Blockbuster they made.
If you're in the group Better Call Saul.
Oh, I am. There's just. And I'm in a lot of
I am too. So
and I'm pelted by stuff. And
that's cool. Yeah, when I saw that, I've seen all the Los Pollos Hermanos training videos. You notice at the end, Gus is smiling.
Hey, the interesting thing is that Michael Mondo is from Canada, and speaks Spanish. He had to learn.
Wow.
He actually had to learn.
But I was gonna say at the end of the last Los Pollos Hermanos training video, Gus is smiling and he gets that look on his face. Get to work.
Yeah.
Notice they showed a box cutter too. Notice they showed a box cutter. Yeah.
Oh, do you think we see Gail anytime soon?
That would be interesting.
Gail Becker.
We could.
Because Gus and Lydia is in the process of doing the whole Czechoslovakian thing,
right?
The Czech Republic.
And so remember that we saw the scene when the lab is being put together and all the equipment is coming in, and Gail is putting it together.
Yeah.
It's not really clear, though, I don't think, how long before Gus propositions Walt, but Gus doesn't waste a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So unless Gail had been cooking with somebody else for a while, I think he had.
He might have.
I think he was cooking.
Yeah, he was cooking because if you remember, he was talking with Gus and saying Walt. Yeah.
Gail already knew about Walt's product.
Yeah.
And was in awe.
Yeah.
Walt was going to try to teach Gail how to bring up, the purity. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he plodded along for years and sold a good enough product.
Mm-hmm.
To go
Jesse on those.
Jesse could almost cook. That's one thing. Jesse learned how to cook.
Mm-hmm.
At Walt's level.
So we're
following everything. Yeah.
So yeah.
If something had been changed, though, Jesse might not be able to figure it out. Walt was the ultimate genius, but yeah, Jesse could do exactly what Walt had done because he did it so many times. But Jesse could be standing outside watching Chuck's house burn down.
Yeah, because we don't know what block that Chuck lives on. We don't know where Chuck lives.
Yeah.
Parks. It's like straight ahead. It's like, it's technically around the corner because it's on the next street, but it's visible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right there. Like he could step out of the front of the house and see the house burn down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe this is around the time he's like not graduating high school, maybe taking care of his aunt.
Mm-hmm.
She's banging a cane on the floors, yelling at the possum, the old possum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Possum stuff. Scrabble, shut up. And Jesse's going outside to watch this house burn down. Could be.
Yo, bitch.
That's cool.
House is on fire.
Sucks to be you, bitch. I mean, but how old do you think? How old do you think Jesse is?
He's got to be in
when
his
Walt
teens.
approaches him in 2008.
He's got to be in 2008. He's got to be at least 18 or in his early 20s.
Right, and that's
18
what
or
I'm
19.
trying to figure out.
So in 2003, he's got to be at least in his teens, probably 15 or 16.
Yeah. So if he's 21, let's say when Walt, so he's 15 now. No, 16. And I know he doesn't graduate.
They can do amazing things with CGI. They can make Aaron Paul look younger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they'll have to.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Paul already looks like he's 16, so all they gotta do, all they have to do is just put a whole bunch of makeup on him, make him look.
I mean, look what they did.
Look what they did
to Giancarlo Esposito to make his face half his face. Remember, look what they did to Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, with The Walking Dead.
But like, Chuck,
Greg Nicotero,
Jimmy, their characters look younger than the actors.
Mm-hmm.
If you've noticed that.
Yeah.
They put a little hairpiece on Jimmy, and poof, it's like a couple decades.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think that's pretty much it for this. This has been one of the strongest seasons I think they've ever produced.
Yes, it was.
This season right here, it's really good, and I cannot wait until season 4. And I think season 4 we're going to see Saul, even though it might not officially be Saul Goodman, but I think we're going to see the beginning stages of Saul.
Well, we have already. He did commercials. He used the name. And, like Peter Gould was saying, just because he's used the name and put on this persona doesn't mean he's there yet, Like, they boiled Walt very gradually. You know what I mean? The whole thing about the gradual boil. I mean,
I found where somebody put together, it's like a GIF file of the evolution of Walter White and his look. It was cool.
Probably with his shoulders bent, and then
goes from the beginning all the way to the end. It's a little GIF file. Goes from it's cool.
He carried himself differently. And what he did, his look. Have to keep shaving. The chemo doesn't take your hair forever, he was done. He could have grown his hair back. He decided he liked that look, made him look badass. The hat. It's less fumbly and bumbly.
Yep.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for this season of Saul GoodCast, Better Call Saul. Last week we was kicking around the idea.
Rest in peace, Chuck. We know you're dead, but we know we'll see you. We'll still see Chuck.
Yeah, they got to have Chuck in some couple of flashbacks.
They're gonna.
I would love to see them do like they did in the beginning of this season, where they show the exact same thing but at a different camera angle. You know how they did? They picked up right off of where Jimmy and Chuck was talking, and you see Jimmy come out of the space blanket, and you see the full frontal of him coming out, and it was at a different angle, and you can hear Chuck clicking the tape recorder in the background. And then, so maybe, hopefully they do that or something similar to that.
The fire?
The fire, do like at a different angle or something.
I don't know. I think it was pretty clear because you could see it start and then instantly spread. I mean, he's not getting out of there.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He gave it so much fodder. I mean, it was already fodder already.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 2 already. But he put so much debris all over the place that. And I remember when they showed the house at one point, there was a view of the house. I don't know if it was when Jimmy went over, must have been, and the length of it. Like, I never realized just how huge this house was.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and it's always funny because I say that to my roommate, wow, that's a big house. And he's like, yeah, I was just thinking that. Well, it's a pile of rubble now. Oh, by the way, there's a $3 million check floating around. Either it's in the bank or it's burned.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of questions here. If the check is not cashed, well, because Chuck's dead, does HHM still owe his estate? And to whom is his estate going?
Ooh, that is interesting.
It can't be Jimmy.
Ooh. Oh man,
It's
season 4 is going to be
Rebecca.
great. Oh yeah. We don't know about Rebecca yet because Rebecca doesn't know anything yet. So,
no, she'll probably just inherit all the money in that, you know, lot where a house used to be.
Now, if Chuck is dead, now we don't see HHM. We never heard of HHM and Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. After Chuck kills himself, does HHM go bankrupt or get foreclosed or shut down in any type?
I get out of it. I mean, that's what I'm wondering. Is this the money he owes? If he dies, does that relieve HM of, or does it go to his estate?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm thinking that, I don't know. I mean, you know that Chuck is meticulous enough to have planned everything, but did he plan for that?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question.
Well, Rebecca and Chuck is divorced.
Yeah. The lottery have to pay you if you're dead. They have to pay your estate and give it to your family. That kind of thing.
I don't think it'll go to Rebecca because Rebecca and Chuck is divorced.
Yeah, but he loved her. He still loved her.
Yeah.
Unless he punted into the will that anything that happens to him, it goes to Rebecca.
And he wants people to feel for him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's never really done anything to make people feel for him, but he wants people to feel for him.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine how she'd feel. Oh my God, he killed himself and he gave everything to me after I left him. And oh my God, you know.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
and then Jimmy would be like, really?
Yeah.
I played along with your fake illness and brought you shit every day, and you leave me nothing. I think that's gonna happen.
Or what if he takes him out of the will?
I think he's not in the will. Oh. Because Chuck, when Chuck says Jimmy never mattered, it like again, Chuck and then Michael McKean was making this point. He matters, but not necessarily in a positive sense. Chuck is always beating Jimmy down. You're not as good as me. I'm always gonna be better than you.
Yeah.
Don't you do anything worthy of approval. Oh my God, you're practicing law. I freaking hate you. And I think he would screw Jimmy over. I do. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Season 4 is going to be epic when they renew it. I mean, I don't see how they cannot
decide what they're going to do, and that Sony/AMC can say to the showrunners, okay, this is how many more seasons you have, and so they can really, really craft this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now they're just kind of going like, all right, we're going to have a next season, right? Let's just be optimistic. But what if they got cut off for some stupid reason?
Well, Netflix can always pick them up.
That's true. Somebody would have to pick it up. But it's not ready to be over yet. There's a destination, and we're only, you know, a fifth of the way there or something. So.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, so we was talking last week about seeing how we're not going to have a show until October. Oh, by the way, I got to show you the title card for the show.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah, so I was creating this last night.
Whoa! Oh, that's killer!
All right.
I only get. Oh, that's awesome! Look at you guys.
That is killer.
Yeah.
Negan got you, Shane. Look at that.
That's freaking awesome. Send that to me.
Yeah, I will.
Somebody asked me a question, as you can see.
Yeah, you got the axe. And Ellen, you're eating whoever. You can choose whoever you want to eat.
Yum.
But yeah, so the webcasting dad is going to premiere in October.
How the hell did you do all that?
Photoshop. I photoshopped it. I actually went on the internet and downloaded the exact same font that Walking Dead used.
Nice.
That's cool.
Oh, I remember once upon a time I used to do that. That's awesome. The webcasting dead.
Yeah.
So what about
that
the
is
challenge?
cool.
All right, so the challenge.
Oh yeah.
The
No,
whole.
I mean, like, just what I don't know which one of you I get to do, but I just want you to know that I'm not gonna give you something that's like chicky, like like for girls, like Orange is the New Black or The Handmaid's Tale.
All right.
So, I something when I recommend it, it's macho. You'll love it.
I think I have some sort of idea of what it is.
Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Alan, go ahead and say it, since I think we know.
Who am I saying it to? Because we have to.
Let's do both of us, me and Henry.
No. One does one because otherwise it's too many shows.
Okay, me then.
All right. So Fargo, you have to watch Fargo.
All right.
Now you have to assign a show to either me or Henry.
So you saw Daredevil season 1, right? Did you enjoy it?
One.
Either of you?
I didn't hate it.
I've seen season 1. Yes, I saw season 1.
I know Henry is probably going to watch season 2, but Ellen, I want you to watch season 2 because this season 2 is really better than season 1, and it's got John Bernthal, Shane from
What's that on again? Is it Netflix?
Yeah,
it's on that. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, done. So now Henry gets to pick for Shane.
Oh,
you get to choose because Ellen gave me one.
Oh no!
I gave Ellen one.
And I gave you one, so Henry has to give one to himself. Something didn't work out there.
Let's see. Well, Shane gave me Daredevil season 2, so I'm gonna give Luke Cage a try because it's tied in with Daredevil. All the Netflix Marvel series are tied in with each other.
Yeah,
tied in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, do you get FX?
Yeah, I get FX.
Yes, on Dish. On Dish,
But I have no idea how to get Fargo because I have Sling, so maybe you might have to give me some kind of website on how to get Fargo. Season 1.
I could message you things.
Yeah, message me some things.
Things and stuff.
And it's 100%. It's 100% legal. Okay, it's 100% legal.
Obviously, I'm very good.
All right, so yeah, I'll be watching Fargo, and I'll report back in October of.
You're gonna thank me.
All right. All right. Has there been a air day for Walking Dead yet? Have they even announced that?
October something?
I'm guessing it'll either be the second or third weekend of October.
Well, there's times when it aired right around Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first season actually premiered right around. I think it premiered on Halloween 2010, I believe. The very first season.
I think you're right.
And that was only 6 episodes.
Well, October 29th is on a Sunday, and Halloween is on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be the 22nd or the 29th.
I wouldn't mind if they started the very first Sunday of October, but whatever.
Well, last year it was the 23rd of October. It was the third weekend of October.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, they had been airing it the second weekend of October.
And how many episodes this season? 18 again?
16.
16?
Really? That many?
Pretty sure. Well, that's how they've been doing it. They air 8 for the first half, like from October to December, and they air, the second half of February through March.
16. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, this is way better than these 10 episode seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Although this Better Call Saul was obviously longer. I had a commercial-free version, and it was almost an hour, so that must have meant at least a 90-minute episode.
Yeah, I mean, they've extended these episodes this season.
Yeah.
Because they're usually ran into overtime about 11:15, 11:20 at the latest.
Well, it was. Yeah.
It feels like no time has
It was.
passed.
Mm-hmm.
The finale was an hour 15 minutes with commercials.
Breaking Bad used to always go by 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
My roommate and I, who weren't roommates at the time, I made him watch the show, and of course he fell in love with it, and we'd watch it together every Sunday night. And it would end, and we'd be like, "What?" It felt like 5 minutes. I mean, obviously it wasn't. It was episode length, but
shoot, Better Call Saul feels like 5 minutes sometimes because it goes by pretty fast too.
It does. Some episodes. But yeah. All right. I'll start on Fargo next week. And
I'm going to start on Daredevil Season 2 and Luke Cage.
What was that?
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, good.
With Steve Buscemi.
It really isn't, but
that'll Francis McDormand.
That'll give you something to compare to because it's not the movie. It's not those characters with that plot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's done in the same kind
of way. And in the movie, Francis McDormand's husband, that was Eastman on Walking Dead. John Carroll Lynch.
Oh, really?
Now that you said it, I can picture
it. That was Norm.
Norm.
Oh.
I'll make you some eggs.
That was Norm, yeah. He was also on American Horror Story, Ellen. He was also on American Horror Story.
Oh, he was the child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on American Horror Story.
Hated him on that. Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, same actor.
Yep. So.
I didn't know until you said it, and then all of a sudden the face just clicked, and all 3 characters.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess we'll see you guys in October for the Webcasting Dad, and we might have another person on, Amy. Yeah. So, so we're friends. So I came across Amy on one of my political groups, and I got her hooked on Breaking Bad. She hasn't watched it yet, and then I told her to watch it, and I got her hooked because I am the Breaking Bad dealer. I deal it out to Henry and got him hooked. Deal it out to Amy and got her hooked. And she said, and Amy is a fan of The Walking Dead, so I'm going to try and get her on, and maybe we can talk Walking Dead, all 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so yeah. So on that note, we'll see you in October for the Webcasting Dad, and I'll send you the title card, and I'll also send you the photo that I did of you, Ellen, and I'll do it to you. I think I've already sent it to you, Henry.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Good.
Awesome.
All right. Good night, everybody.